Yo, Divine, what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and give it SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pregame. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holla at you. One.
Up in the black Silverado, stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the gospels, we in the Mecca bottleneck. On 32nd waters, bow with Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Carrot we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley, dig them through your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. When they moving slow before the pregame show. No cash, so here's what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep my blue in the chat. Interacting with your man, them. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Catch and snap back. The fitted cat, so we Nick dripping. Nick real, you know we fit the description. It's the OG, Olin, and Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Knicks Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. Real talk.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Salute. What's good, man. We in the building, man. Knicks Real Talk, Offseason Real Talk, episode 5, man. We about to get in here, get it popping, and talk about this Knicks thing, man. We're going to talk about the new signings for the year, the coaches and everything, the players. We're going to get into these guys who's eligible for extension. We're going to talk about the last roster spot and all that good stuff. We're going to get in here and break it all down, talk about it, man. Salute to everybody out there. Thank y'all for coming in. Let me bring my partner, man, the other half of the engine in this building, man. Shaw Powers, what's good, my brother?
Salute to you, Divine, as always. Salute to the family in the chat. It's been a while, so let's talk about it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Walter Blackman, what's good? Johnny Davis, Queen Darlene, Crim's dad, what's good? Good to see you, my man. On D, everybody, man. Salute everybody, man. I hope y'all had a great weekend and everything like that, man. And we're just gonna get here and talk about it for a little while. Tori B was good, sister. Good to see you as well. When I see you in the chat, man, I hope I meet y'all live and well. You're doing well, man. So that's what's up. But yeah, Shaw Powers, man. You've been a hot summer, rainy summer. So far, so good, man. But a little bit of Nick news here and there. As expected, coming off the playoffs, man. Now we can talk about these guys we brought in here, the coach we brought in here. We got guys who's eligible for some contract extensions, some really good content. I would like to talk about that later on. Also, we got a couple of roster spots in Summer League around the corner. Got a deep roster in Summer League. Who's gonna make it off that team on to the regular roster? We got the main 3 stays from last year, maybe 4 McCullough Jr. But so we're gonna get into all that, my man. But other than that, how you doing, man? What's going on with you, my man? How's the summer going so far?
Man, it's been a blessing, man. You know what I mean? And I'm enjoying it so far, so good. And everybody, if y'all can run amok with happy B-days for Shaw Powers, birthday past, belated, and all that other good stuff. Not advocating, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If y'all didn't know, now y'all know. It was Sunday the 6th. You know what I mean? Yeah, with that being said, man, it's been great, man. Double nickel over here. So, you know, I'm just living it up, living la vida loca, you know what I mean? and the Knicks is keeping us relevant. Drop a little thing here, drop another little thing here, a little caveat here, a little muffin here, a little tidbit here. So it's keeping the thing keep going so we could talk about it. And I'm liking what they're doing, man. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling like something big is about to happen.
Yeah, real talk, man. They're taking it one step at a time. They finally got the coach out the way, at least officially signed, which is a good thing. These guys that they brought in here, man, we looking for them to come in here and contribute culture-wise. We brought 2 guys in here so far with Clarkson and my man. Look like they're going to be able to come in here and get things popping from a basketball standpoint with the players and everything. So, good move. A couple of things that we needed, and we didn't relinquish nobody yet. I mean, we did. The guys who we didn't sign back so far, the Chewers of the world, and the guys like that are Wright and Cameron Payne, and a couple of other guys who we had, Tucker and all them guys that don't look like they'll be back in the fold so far. Shaman might be one of the possible. But other than that, man, the big news is Mike Brown is here. You know what I mean? Replacing Tom Thibodeau. now he's here to take over the reins of this team and try to get them to another step beyond where we went this year. Hopefully we can go a little further, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to bring to the table. I'm looking forward to what Yabusele, I'm looking forward to what Clark's going to bring to the table. And like I was mentioning, we do have another spot that we probably could fill. So, it's definitely going to be interesting, man. But other than that, it's news out there, and I'm glad to hear that. And to keep us relevant, keep us in the fold, and all that good stuff, man. So we're going to talk about all that good stuff, man. And I think that these guys that's coming in here now, I do think that these guys excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that. But they got some things to bring to the table. So we're going to see what they're going to bring to the table for the New York Knicks. I do think they will make a difference here. I think I'm putting the wrong thumbnail up there. I apologize for that. But we'll see what these cats going to bring to the table and all that good stuff, man. So I'm looking forward to it, Shop Out. I really am, man. I think these guys got something to prove. And I think they will show and prove for the New York Knicks. Actually, man, I think I got the video going a little bit. There you go. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But I do think they got something to show and prove for the Knicks shop house, especially with Mike Brown right now. When you look at his career numbers, 11 wins, 454 wins, 304 losses, 5.9 winning percentage in 11 seasons. Been on some good teams, coached some good teams. Like we said, we talked about this already. Been on the championship roster and everything. So I'm looking forward to what he's got to bring to the table. And then, obviously the guys that we brought in, Yabusele, points per game, 6.5 career-wise, 48% from the floor. I like that. 36%, only 37% from downtown. I like that. Rebound, the numbers are decent. Assist numbers are decent. He got half a steal per game. His numbers is good from a career standpoint. And then obviously Jordan Clarkson, points per game, 16 for the career, 43% from the floor, 33 from downtown, 3.2 rebounds, almost 3 assists, almost a steal a game. He's another guy that we brought in here this year. So all these guys that we brought in, I think they have paid dividends one way or the other, especially the players and the coach. So I'm just looking forward to the Knicks really getting these guys into the fold and making the best of what these cats could do for us, man. So the biggest three things that came across the wire so far this year. What's your impression on these three guys that we have moved on?
Yeah, we all know, we all talked about it. Clarkson, good character guy. They've been trying to get him for a couple of years now. Can a microwave off the bench. A microwave play type scorer. Could get hot at any given second. Good from three. He's averaging about 16 points a game. He's going to be a big help in the second unit. And Yabusele, another 7.7 and 5 type of guy for the tight minutes. He's probably going to get about 20-something minutes a game or something like that. And, with him, just those two guys alone make, just Clarkson alone made more points than the second unit did last year. But with those two guys together, it's about almost 30 points coming from your bench. And that's not including Deuce McBride. That's not including Hakapurdy. That's not including whoever's going to be that third guy. If it's going to be Josh Hart, if it's going to be Pat Man, any one of those guys. So it's a good start. It's a good start to the season. And Brown said today that he wants to win. And he's been to the mountaintop. And he knows what it takes to get to the mountaintop. And he had these 3 or 4 things that he talked about that we all talked about being coherent with each other, being in cahoots with each other, and playing for each other as a team basketball. We talk about that all the time on Knicks Real Talk. So a lot of things that he was talking about is a lot of things that we've been seeing and said a lot this past season that just went off about the team. So if he could implement those things, this Knicks team is a good team already, man. I don't know why, everybody's 51 wins, 2 games away from the finals this year. Come on, man. And him coming in with a different mindset should help the Knicks get to the next step, in my opinion.
Yeah, real talk. We're gonna play some of the presser from today too, ladies and gentlemen, and we let him hear from the horse's mouth. But you getting how do you real quick? Let me ask you a question. If you look at not so much the style, do you feel this is just an upgrade over Tibbs, or you think it's just how would I say, same person, different face. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so do you consider Mike Brown? What makes him different to you that makes him better than Tibbs, or what do you think what makes him not better than Tibbs from a coaching perspective? Because you know, we much as we know Tibbs can coach, we still didn't like a lot of things that he might, not a lot of things. That I'm putting hyperbole there. We didn't like some of the things that he did. Maybe whether playing players too long, not dealing with the rotation the way they need to deal with it. Maybe feeling like he didn't play the young guys. Is there anything in Mike Brown that you worried about compared to Tibbs? Or is there anything that you like about Mike Brown that you didn't like about Tibbs?
I could say this. I don't know anything about Mike Brown's coaching skills. I've seen him coach, but I haven't watched him coach like I watched Tom Thibodeau. And I mean, every time he would come into the Garden with the opposing team and stuff like that, I watch how he played against the Knicks and stuff like that. And you know, I seen some of the games, you know, early in his career when he was with LeBron, you know, because that was the big thing with LeBron, and he does have just got a 2-time coach of the year, stuff like that, just coming off of not too long ago having 60 wins and stuff like that. So he is at first one big thing for me is he got to come in here and perform, because the whole season, and I hope I don't hear it, but the whole season will be about why did we fire Tom Thibodeau for Mike Brown? Oh my God, Mike Brown ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, blah blah blah. The same people that were talking about fire Tibbs. Tom Thibodeau was gone now. And I mean, and we got Mike Brown, competent coach. It's not about so much, it is about him coaching, but it's not so much about him coaching the team. It's about getting them together, all on the same row your boat. You can't row, this guy's rowing and this one is rowing, and now your boat is going like this. You know, you gotta have, everybody gotta be paddling at the same time in order for the boat to go down the block. So if he could get that done with the team he got, come on, man, he got Karl Anthony Towns, he got Jalen Brunson, he got OG Anunoby, he got Mikal Bridges. The one thing that I think that he's going to do different is have a different outlook of the team. You will see him play some young guys, especially when we're blowing teams out. You will see him implement a different lineups and won't be stagnant with the lineups. You will see him emphasize about playing defense against 3-point shooting and not lacking off. He will, not saying that Tom Thibodeau didn't do a lot of these things, but and what he said today made me think about these are the things that he's going to implement. I mean, and I hope that he comes in here and he does that, because we have a good team. And usually we always know with a Tom Thibodeau team, they start off a little slow. And with him coming in this year, I don't want them to start slow. They know each other. They should know the thing. They should have a full camp right now. They should be ready to turn it over. I'm expecting them to go right out the gate, the first 7 games. And we'll hear when the schedule comes down in August, what the first 7 games will be.
Yeah, real talk. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Though, Cam from the kickback. Real talk. I am going to play the pressure in a few, Cam. I appreciate that, though. And I'm John Seeger. What's good, John Seeger? Appreciate you coming in, man. Salute to everybody coming in. Real talk. But yeah, man, I'm like this here. Mike Brown's been around the NBA. Got to, let that go with record speak for itself. Ladies and gentlemen, got a .599 winning percentage in the NBA. Obviously, he had some good, talented players. He had superstar players to coach. Let me put it like that. He done coached LeBron James and Steph Curry, helped coach Steph Curry. Let me say that way. He been up and down the food chain. You know what I mean? So he was able to coach guys at their starting point in their career. He was also able to coach guys at the peak of their careers. So I mean, it's nothing that he haven't coached. He coached guys who could get it done. He had guys who came in the league trying to get it done. So what I do like about him is that he has been around long enough to coach on all different levels. I mean, the cat, 11 years. So he done coached in maybe the prior decade, and he's into this decade. So I think that works well, because he was able to coach in different aspects of time throughout the NBA and seen the changes and all that stuff and the nuance of the NBA. So I think he'd be comfortable in New York, because just due to the fact, you look at everybody in our roster, there's nobody they probably approaching 30, maybe at 30. So that works well in his favor, because they're not a bunch of really, really young guys who he got to try to teach, or who they got to try to learn, adapt to his style of coaching. These guys, like, They pros. Like he's coming in, like you said earlier, just to piggyback off you. He's coming into an already made team. These are a bunch of pros. He's coming in, not a bunch of kids who he got to shape and mold and all that good stuff. I mean, even the Daddy A's and the Macomb and them already, and Kolick and them was here a year already. So they got a little bit of season on them. You know what I mean? So I think he'll be fine with it, ladies and gentlemen. I think his experience and everything that he have endured going through the NBA from his assistant coaching days all the way up to now, gonna benefit well for the New York Knicks to me. The jury was out on him, Shaw Powers, when we first heard about the signing. The jury was out. A lot of people didn't really think that he was the guy because maybe they had other guy they really wanted. But then when you look at his record, like I said, 454 and 304, 599 winning percentage, that's winning. His winning percentage better than Tom Thibodeau's. You know what I mean? From that perspective, but obviously he had some really, really big, supreme talented players more than Tom Thibodeau too. Like I said, he had LeBron James and all these guys. So you got to get and give him the benefit of the doubt there. But let's see what he does. I'm excited about it, man. I like this press conference today. I'm gonna play that in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So I really like what they brought to the table with him. Let's hope we can go ahead and get the fan base to get on his side. Now he's here later. We have to root for him now. You know what I mean? We have to root for him. He's our coach. He's the coach of the New York Knicks. And we want him to be successful because we got aspirations for this team this year just due to the fact of what we did last year, Shaw Power. So I'm looking forward to the man coming in here, implementing his style, his coaching philosophy, how he do his X's and O's, how he hold players accountable. Just like he said that what he want them to hold him accountable. So I think that's a good thing, man. So let's see how the man get it done, and man, maybe he can make it feel a little bit better about the signing this year, man. So let's salute to my man Mike Brown. Real quick talk. Let's Shaw Powers. I'm gonna try to get into his presser, and all that stuff if it's possible, and if it allow me to, and then we get into it. But any other thoughts on my man Shaw Powers?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Brown is he's been through the ringers, you know what I mean? All the way from his San Antonio days with was he with Robinson and I think he was with Robinson, David Robinson,
Tim Duncan.
And was he with both of them and Tim Duncan, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he was, right? Okay, yeah. So he done been with a couple of guys. So he's been with some big name guys. So these guys ain't going to really be able to show him up. He's been with guys that's already been there to the mountaintop and stuff like that. And hypothetically, he is around my age, so he could, he actually is not like their peers. He is more of a elder statesman to them. So someone to more listen to. You know what I mean? As an OG. That's what I got called all weekend. Or as an OG. Right. So he's someone like that.
The OGs, there you go. The OGs.
You know what I mean?
Running, we ain't running, we gunning. Let's get it. But listen, let's listen to a little bit of his presser, ladies and gentlemen, and see what he had to say today, man.
Thank everybody for coming. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking Mr. Dolan, Leon Rose, for this incredible opportunity.
Oh, sorry, fam. Devon clicked out for a second. Must be that rain in this area. If y'all hear me, put your thumbs up. All right, Devon's back. There you go. There you go.
I did it purposely. My bad.
Championship. I'm honored and excited to be the new head coach of the New York Knicks.
Better be.
Talk about the historic franchise. Madison Square Garden.
Say it again.
It's iconic. Our fans, they're the most knowledgeable and passionate.
That's real.
Probably in all of sports.
That's real.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Facts.
We have an outstanding roster.
You're right.
What they did in the playoffs shows their potential. I've had great conversations with all of our players, and I'm looking forward to growing positive, strong relationships with all of them over time. Our goal starting with Mr. Dolan, to Leon, to the players, all the way down to the fans, is to build a sustainable winning culture that produces championships.
That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. That's why I'm here.
I'm fortunate to know what it takes to create that success.
Thanks. Been there.
Hard work, a high level of commitment, and a focus on today. Now, a lot of you guys gonna say, this sounds cliche, and it is, but we can't skip any steps. It's about one day, one practice, one shoot around at a time. The soul of our identity when it comes to culture is going to be based on a trust that's centered around sacrifice, the connectivity, the competitive spirit, and an overall belief in the process and each other. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all.
Thanks.
But there's a lot of work to do, and I'm ready to get started.
Sound good, Shot Powell. I like what he was talking about. It really made sense with a lot of what he was talking about.
The first thing is, everybody knows I like to play fast. And like I said, we have an outstanding roster. I'm excited about that. And to have a guy like Jalen out there gives you the versatility to play all different types of ways, which is what it's going to take throughout the course of a ball game.
That's beautiful what he said, man. That's the emphasis what we want to hear. And I mean, he wants to play fast. And I mean, no, slow it down. Let's push the pace.
Right.
Right. There's nobody has any bigger expectations, first of all, than I do. My expectations are high. But this is the Knicks. I talked about
Facts.
Madison Square Garden. I talked about our fans. I love and embrace the expectations that come along with it. So I'm looking forward to it.
That is such a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now, what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, they asked them a bunch of questions. So just at least we got to hear the part from what we want to hear about, what he wanted to do was his expectations and aspirations.
Well,
so
first of all,
it sounds,
Tom is a tremendous
Shot Powell, it sounds good.
and he is a friend of mine.
So I'm happy. I'm happy at least with his introduction about what he want to do and his philosophy and all that good stuff, man. And let's get it, man. He's locked in, man. He ready to go. He got a good team. He got a talented team, and he can get the best of them. But real quick though, let me shout out some people. Nick P was good. Peace, my man. Nick P, good to see you, my brother. Real talk, good to see you. Long time no see, but good to see you. Darren was good. Rasul, my man, was popping. Everybody in chat, to all you guys, man. We just was tuning into the little bit of the pressure, ladies and gentlemen. Just seeing what the new coach, what he's thinking was on his mind and everything like that. And look like he decided to be here. Look like he's ready to get it done. Shot Powell, he got a job for the next 4 years, 5 years, whatever. He just got to for what they paid him, be worth his money. But it looked like he's talking what we want to hear about getting to a championship and winning this thing, multiple ones. So let's see, man. He got to. One thing about I do like about it that he had a chance to grow over the years as well. Just like how players game start turning into a maturation over the years. Well, his coaching could possibly turn into a maturation over the years. Now he's in a big market with a big team. He's been there too. He was in LA already. Ain't nothing new. Like I say, he was in Golden State with Steph and them. Though my man Steve Kerr was the head of the snake there, but I'm quite sure he was his main guy next to him, and he was pivotal there. So Then he went to Sacramento, did some good things with the team they had. To get it, Mike Brown. I'm with you, my man. Just from the one part that got me, and then when he said it, I'm like, I'm good. When he said it sounds cliche, I know it does, but this is what it is, and I respect that because it all sounds cliche because it's like everybody say the same thing, but seems like he's meaning it. So I thought it was a big little phrase that he said right there. But he said, I know it all sounds cliche because it does sound cliche. Everybody got to say what he's saying. Every coach going to come here and say that we want to do this, we want to do that. But he acknowledged that. So that means that he understands that we heard this song and danced before. So he got to show and prove. That's what I'm happy about. And that presser, that was important to me when he said that, to let you know that for real. Go ahead, my man.
The one big thing that he said to me, that if you're not a New York fan, let's let you know that this is New York, baby. This is New York. You got high expectations coming to New York City. And let's just be known, if these coaches that the Knicks reached out to and tried to touch and all that stuff, if they wanted to come to the Knicks, it is big. It is not like you going from here to Denver or you going from here to Portland. That ain't it. You want, like he said, this is the Mecca. And he's the one thing that made me so happy. He said he's welcome to meet all of those press guys because they all are going to be on him. I heard Triple J in there. I heard Begley in there. I heard it was a couple of their names that you hear that we talk about as the insiders. They were there, and they're going to be there to ask this guy the questions. So I'm happy that he got this first time to get to meet them because New York media ain't like no other media. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just know we got a lot of guys and we are some real diligent. He said all the things that made it. We got a team, and he talked to them. And he wants to know how far we could go. And he is one of those guys that likes to push the pace. So let's get it. Let's get all those things that rolls for me real good. Pushing the pace, that's one of my pet peeves. Let's push the pace, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. You know what? You're right, Rasul. It does sound like he's been studying for Nick for a while. But you know what? He also had to play against us. You know what Jalen Brunson did to him? And he knows. And Jalen Brunson gave him the business over there in Sacramento. Him and them guys, so he understands what he have, and he should. The expectation should be high. And I'm glad that he's not wavering like that. I know what I'm brought here to do. You know what I mean? He ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing. He telling you what I'm here to bring some championships here, or bring a championship here, whatever. So what I do like about it, if Leon Rose and Worldwide West and everybody under that umbrella can keep the players that we need in a cap situation in full, then I think he will win one because as long as the front office is giving him what he needs, we'll see what his coaching style going to do. So one thing he can say, like, he can't come here and say, I don't got no players. He can't say that. You know what I mean? He can literally come here and say, I got some talented dudes. So this front office that gave me the tools necessary in my tool bag to go out there and fix and create whatever I need to. So I'm really looking forward to this guy getting out there, building something, man. And let's see how it goes, man, on Mike Brown. But, in the process of all that as well, ladies and gentlemen, which else is important because now you got to think about what's going to be happening along with Mike Brown and what's moving forward for the Knicks because Shaw Powers, these guys got some decisions to make. Obviously, what I mean by that is, ladies and gentlemen, these three dudes right here, as I'm showing on the screen, Towns, Robinson, and my man, Mikal Bridges, ladies and gentlemen, they all are extension eligible. July the 7th on. These guys can go out there and get some extensions happening. Where do the Knicks go with this here? What do they do with them? I have no idea. I got a feeling it all works itself out one way or the other. But they all eligible, though. And I don't have a problem keeping all of them. I really don't. I don't have a problem keeping all of them. And I got a feeling I'm confident two of them going to be here. Suspect about the other one. But if they bring them all back, they extend them on. I mean, they'd be with us for another 3 or 4 or 5 years or 4 years, whatever the case may be. And that's meaning, ladies and gentlemen, Carl Anthony Towns, Mr. Robinson, and Mikal Bridges. I think the Knicks definitely will bring back Mikal Bridges due to the fact I think Jalen Brunson did that for a reason. So I do think that they probably extend him because I think Jalen Brunson said, well, look, as long as you give my man long-term money, I take a pay cut on the front end. I believe that's what that could be about that as well. Carl Anthony Towns, listen, these guys got some money coming up. And but here's what I like about Shot Power. I want to put these guys' numbers up. And what's interesting about what I'm thinking, that Mike can make all this work in Town favor and all these guys' favor. And Shot Power, the biggest one for me is right here. Is Carl Anthony Towns. Excuse me, let me get this out of here and then I'll put it in there. I think this one for Carl Anthony Towns could be interesting. And here's why I say that. Look at he this year 53, 57, and 61. Now here's what I'm looking at there. Let's say he signs an extension for 4 years, 180. That means he can go 40, 40, 40, 40. So instead of having 100 and not counting this year, that's already in the books, but the next 2 years, 118 million. Let's say if he decided to extend for 180, but all that comes 40 or whatever the case may be, 45, 45, 45. And then Mikal Bridges' money, that can help go along with Mikal Bridges' money. So instead of getting 2 years at 118, let's say the dude cap out at, just to help the Knicks, 4 years at 160. You know what I mean? And maybe his annual money goes down. Well, he got a little bit more. I don't know. I'm hypothetically. That could be more than that. He could take more, but I think in a sense that could not be a bad idea neither. So you keep him here to 2030 or 31, I don't know, whatever. Let's say 2029. And because he's getting 53 this year. So next year, the year after, 26, 27, 28, and 29, give him a 4 year. I don't know. It depends if that works with the cap, with the CBA. So I'm not really sure about all that. But hypothetically, that might be a good look for the Knicks, Shop Howard, if you do extend him, but you take his annual money and take less, but give him a longer deal. What do you think about that?
I forgot who was saying it, and I hate to reference somebody, but the way they were talking about his money is if it can grow with the salary gap. So if the salary cap goes up 10% and he increases 8%, he stays competitive and he still makes his money. Just like with Mikal, just like with Mitch. You know what I mean? And it was something about them increasing their rate of pay by, if it was 8% or 80%, or however the percentage it was, the salary cap increases by 10% or whatever the percentage it is. I think it was 10% because I'm saying 10 and 8. So if the salary cap's increased by 10% and we're raising his tax bracket by 8%, it'll fall into the pay gap. So it's something to watch out for. We got the best guys right now, man. Brock Aller is a wizard at this. And I mean, he all right, I'm just gonna say this, you know what I mean, to get off topic real quick. This front office I haven't seen the front office like this in maybe all my time that I've been watching the New York Knicks. I've been watching the New York Knicks since I seen that it started. I mean, I've been watching them forever, but really being a fan, I was 11, 12. And I mean, so that was like 43 years ago or something like that, 43, 44 years ago, you know what I mean? I was like 11, 12, you know what I mean? And I never seen the way that these guys work the books, don't go over the salary cap, ain't paying no luxury taxes. I mean, a little luxury tax, but ain't paying the bulk or anything. And with the luxury tax that we're paying, we're still getting good quality players into the door. I usually right now we'd have traded everybody for 4 guys years ago for 4 guys that was we'd have traded for LeBron right now, and I'm just making jokes. We would have traded for LeBron and KD, Bill, and who else is and Horford right now. And we'd have gave up all this young talent to get those old guys in here for 1 year, and then all 4 of the old guys get hurt the same year and out for the rest of the year, and we stuck in a boat. I mean, stuck our foot in the mud. So, let's just see what happens, man. I represent this front office real big, but to get back to the point, man, I think we can do great things this year.
Yeah, real talk. I think, like I said, this is a good team, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a good team, man.
Salute to Nick Yak. Yak, what's good, my man? Everybody in the building, salute Rasul, everybody. Yeah, real talk. But you know what? Listen, Cat came and showed and proved this year, ladies and gentlemen. Like it wasn't like him or that didn't have a good year. Knicks, all of them had a good year until we got to that Indiana series, the last couple of games, right? So they did show and prove. He did some great things. He did some good things for New York. He helped get us to the Eastern Conference Finals, and obviously we wanted to go beyond. So if Leon Rose them take that into consideration, I think they will extend him, keep him around. I think he's a talented dude, and I can't wait to see what Mike Brown going to do with him. But the other guy, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, is Mikal Bridges, and even Mikal, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, like this is last year of his $25 million deal. He had a bet. Look at his numbers this year. His numbers was better than his career numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, he averaged 18 a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. PER was a little off, but I can understand all that because of the trying to give continuity with all the other talent that was around him. Like he coming from a situation where at one time he was that guy, and the situation before that he was one of the guys. I was Devin Booker was the guy, but he'd been around enough. He'd been in that situation where I wasn't the guy. He'd been in a situation where he was the guy. But last year the man put up 18 up. It didn't seem like it. It seemed like everybody was on Mikal last year, but to be honest with you, his numbers wasn't bad. Shot powers, but here's a guy who got 25 million coming. And then I think that could go up maybe 10. Maybe it can go up 10 million. Whatever the case may be. But I don't have a problem with Mikal being on the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was a good thing we had last year. And I'm expecting this team to be better from a continuity standpoint because that was their first year together, trying to play a whole season together. So I'm expecting these guys this year to come in and amp it up a little bit, knowing each other's ways and actions, knowing each other's tendencies, knowing when they come into training camp what they want to do, how they want to do it. I'm quite sure before we get to training camp and all that, these guys will be in there working on their playing with Coach Mike Brown, Shot Powers. But what do you think? What do you think his number is going to be hypothetically around his extension, man? When he got 25, obviously he's 4 years. I think 156. Am I right? 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's 156. That's about 30, 37 to 39 a year, something like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it fits into the cap, it works. I don't know if he goes that high. Maybe he might take something with an increase where it started off at 35 to give the Knicks a little break. But let's see what happens. You know what I mean? OG got his money. He might want his money. But if they can't, I bet you one thing. I bet you in one of my accounts, I bet you all the money in there. If they can't come to an agreement before the end by trade deadline, he will be moved. I bet all that money in that account, every last penny. If they don't come up with an agreement, I don't know when it started. I mean, it's already started, but I don't know when it has to be done by. But if it ain't done by that time, it's you, my golly, he will not be here in a heartbeat. I mean, it'll almost be something similar to what happened to Julius Randle. They couldn't come to an agreement, he will be gone. So I hope that he can come in and go start off at 34-9 and end up with 39-999 going out in his last year. That's what I think. That's what he'll do. I don't know what he'll do, but I mean, OG didn't take much of a discount, but he did take a discount. He could have got more. OG could have got 50. I mean, OG this year just got 39. I think 30. He'll be 39 this year, getting 39 million this year. So he took a little. He could have got more money, but he played a little hardball with the Knicks. You know what I mean? But let's see what happens. I know one thing. If Leon Rose and Mikal Bridges can't come to an agreement, or their agencies and their agents can't come to agreement, he will be gone in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, thank you, Rasul. Rasul was pretty much saying that if we don't, then the next one is 5 years, 296, and we damn sure ain't giving him that. You know what I mean? So
That's what him. Yeah, that if we don't extend him, it's not necessarily that we have to because I think he's still on contract. The extension will prolong his contract, but if he has an all-star year, a defensive player of the year, if they make it to the playoffs and he becomes an MVP or any type of things like that, that 290 he will get that. And I mean, he might not get it here, but he will get that big money. You know what I mean? Right now, the reason why he ain't getting that big money, the Supermax, is because he had his accolades. But if he get any of those accolades that we just mentioned, an all-star, all NBA, defensive team, any of that, yeah, he made the higher echelons. Then the money goes up for him. So it might be beneficial to give him his money now before he won, because you know what happens. You don't sign before the extension, and then this year he's gonna score 28 points. It's gonna be his average. He's gonna have 7 assists, and then we ain't gonna be able to pay him. You know how I do it, Knicks? Come on. So let's see if they could come to an agreement and get that money narrowed down so they can make a reasonable deal for the team and for him himself.
yeah, you know, to me, ladies and gentlemen, for me to keep it a buck, first of all, I agree with you. Who put it up there? Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. Nick Yaks ain't nobody giving him that money, and I don't think they is neither. Not no 290.
Yeah.
But here's what I do believe. I do believe that he will take Jalen Brunson only getting 34 million, ladies and gentlemen, kicking in pretty soon. Let me see Jalen Brunson's numbers. In the with signing his extension, he left a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, he should be at about 36. What is he this year? 36, 30?
34 this year, 37, 40, and 43.
Okay, all right. Yeah. All right. Okay. I know the jumps is big.
So we know Mikal Bridges ain't no Jalen Brunson. I'm willing to say if they extend him 30, 35, 36.
Yeah, that's what I'm at with it.
I think he'll leave.
Give him about 8. Give him anywhere from 8 to 11 million. No more than 11 million a year.
Yep.
You figure if you make it 25, let's go 35, 34 the first year. At the end of the year, your contract grow like Jalen Brunson's. I mean, when you get in your 4th year and you 37 years old, you get the most money that you can get.
Yeah. I think they do. I think they would do it. Here's what's important to him too. Sometimes being in a certain place, like he's comfortable in New York, ladies and gentlemen. He played for Brooklyn. He's born and raised in Philly. He's playing in New York and the Mecca. Sometimes it's worth to sacrifice money to stay comfortable. I'm around my mother. My mother's in Philadelphia. I've lived in Brooklyn. I got a spot there. I'm playing for the New York Knicks and the Mecca. Sometimes your situation outsees the money. Cats don't need money like that. You know what I mean? They got money. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I can understand why Jalen Brunson did what he did. I totally get it. Jalen Brunson, listen, I get my shit on the back end. I got enough money to take care of my family the rest. I mean, I'm quite sure once you break all this shit down through agents and taxes and all that, it might not, but we may think of it still. But they also got endorsements out there. They got other ventures out there. So these guys is good. And I really believe Mikal Bridges, knowing that what Jalen Brunson did to get him extension, because these boys is boys. I mean, they went to college together. They did this shit together. You know what I mean? And I really believe that he would do the same thing for what Jalen Brunson did. Maybe not at the scale of Jalen Brunson shot power, but I do think he in a good situation. And I think if they can find a way to get him in here for around 140, 145, whatever, and knowing that the cap going up, that shit is awesome. Even that's why I said with Cat, even if you get Cat in here at 4 more years, knowing that the cap going up, but you can keep that flexibility.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. You know what I mean? But then obviously we got that last dude shot powers, and that's Big Mitch. You know what I mean? He got one coming up. You know what I mean? He's on his last year of what he's trying to do, and obviously right there, ladies and gentlemen, 2025, $12.9, $13 million expiring. The career low due to injuries. You know, he was at 8 points a game, 8 rebounds. PER was 20. He had a higher PER than a lot of the Knicks. But obviously not playing the whole season this year because of injury. I think he's going to command somewhere around $20 million, right? What do you think? About $20 million a year?
I think, in my opinion, I don't know, but in my opinion, I think we could get, you give Mitch 45, for 4 years, 4 years, somewhere around 45, something like that. I think that keep Mitch. I think Mitch happy with that. He like buying big trucks, so I think you give him about $15 million a year. I think we can keep Mitch. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not worth $20 million. You know what I mean? But I think if you could probably front end him heavy like they did the first contract with him, hit him with something with where he gets 19 and then 20 or something like that, and then next year he gets 16 and then it goes down to 13 and then it comes back down to this contract like that, something like that. But somewhere around 45, I think we can keep Mitch around there. And whatever it is, we do not want to increase his salary more than I think it's 8% because to next year everything goes up 10%, and then 2 years after that it goes up 12. I think it's 12. I forgot what the numbers is, but it continuously go up. So if we can keep him in that same number where everybody's in this bulk number and everything, that we get 10% on the whole salary cap, and then we increase everybody by 8%, we'll be okay.
You know what I could also see the Knicks doing? I would give them $60 million, but that third year is a team option.
Yeah, I can see that $20 million a year, something like that, in the third year.
That third year, a team option, just in case. You know what I mean? You know we're going with that. Availability is the best ability. But anyway, if not, then obviously they might have to think about what they're going to do with him. He the longest tenured Knick. I think Mike Brown was speaking about that highly. Like he liked Mitchell Robinson's verticality down there in the middle, and he also liked being able to have cat stretch the floor. So Mike Brown seemed like he got this figured out. You know what I mean? And we had to see what the Knicks going to do. So the Knicks going to extend all three of these guys? Will they? They all are eligible. That remain to be seen. But I'm good with either or. Me, I'm a Mitch guy, man. I've been, I thought the only thing messed up his career was injuries. But I do like what he brings to the Knicks for what he provides for us on the defense side of the ball. But now we're going into a whole new dimension with a different coach that does. Mike Brown put a lot of emphasis on defense like Tom Thibodeau did. Maybe that Mike Brown might feel like I don't have to be that dominant there, but I can get a player who can defend and spend my money somewhere else. You know what I mean? So instead, let's say hypothetically, instead of giving Mitchell extension for $20 million, I might could plug in a dude there for $8 million to kind of give me sort of what he give me, and we can keep the other money. Or do they believe in loyalty? Do the Knicks believe that this cat really can help us? So it is really interesting to see how they're gonna do the Mitch situation, man. Like I said, I'm a Mitch guy, man. I think Mitch could bring a lot of things to the table on the defense side of the ball, and maybe, just maybe, a guy like Mike Brown offense skill set might bring out some more in Mitch. Maybe he might put the emphasis on Jalen Brunson and seeing him over the top now. You know what I mean? Opposed to them not looking at him a lot, during the season. But now he might say, guys, when y'all get in that paint, I need y'all to keep an eye on the center who, when you get down in that middle, I need you to keep a guy on the center who's playing mid. He's coming at you. When he rim rumming, if they center trying to stop Jalen Brunson or you, whatever, y'all got to make sure y'all know that ball is over the top of Mitchell Robinson. Or they might put him in pick and roll situations. They might put him in a lot of situations. Who knows what Mike Brown might do? But either way it go, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. These some real tough decisions to make for the New York Knicks. I don't think two of them is tough. I think the Mitchell Robinson might be the one that's really tough because I don't know. Do they just want to pay $20 million on a guy who's just a defense minded only? And that's that.
And with that you just said, they got Yabusele now. They still got Huckle Purdy. if these guys blossom this year and stuff like that, it might be a chance. He might be someone to move to. Who knows? And I mean, I don't think that if they try to keep Mitch, I don't think Mitch gets no more than $20 million. I don't think they could afford no more than 20. I don't think they could afford no more than for Mitch $15 million. I mean, that's why I said the 3 years, maybe 15 million, fourth year, 60 million, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there. We'll see what happens. That's a valid point right there, Devon, because if Hooker Purdy blows up this year down and messed up his name now. Saying Hooker Purdy, then what's the new guy we got from Philly?
Yabusele.
If Yabusele and Hooker Purdy blow up this year, we may not. Might be the diminishing year for Mitchell Robinson. I mean, they might look to shop him. He'll be $12 million at the trade deadline.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a really interesting situation. New York. He the last remaining New York Knicks of that prior regime. The prior regime to Leon Rose them. Leon Rose did not draft Mitchell Robinson. Tibbs was here. Tibbs loved Mitchell Robinson. He kept him here. I just think that all they got to do is work the numbers out. Hope the man stay healthy. Cause I believe him in that middle with Karl Anthony Towns in a year two. Remember, Towns didn't play with Mitchell Robinson a whole year. He gets to play with Mitchell Robinson coming out of the gate, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. That's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, if you don't get hurt going into the season, but yeah, it makes a difference knowing that you got Mitchell Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the gate, and instead of waiting for a whole year to play with him. So it's going to be it's an interesting dynamic because it's all about the money, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, with this new CBA, you're going to lose somebody, but who's more worth losing? And it's going to be real interesting over there. But other than that, man, I tell you this here, we got another roster spot, Shop Powers, to fill with a minimum contract or whatever the case may be, because Yabusele took a little bit less to help that situation out. I heard the Marcus Smart name out there, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, what do y'all think about that? I like Marcus Smart. I liked him a couple of years ago. But if they get him, if they watch him wind up getting rid of Marcus Smart, buying him out, whatever, would you bring Marcus Smart in New York, or who do you want in New York to fill that last roster spot? If it's not nobody on the current roster that was on the team, I meant to say, or somebody that was on the team that just happened to sign with a Shaman. I don't think it's Campaign, even though I seen Campaign out there in Paris with my man Jalen Brunson to me like a couple of days ago. Who do you think take that last roster spot? Who would you want to see fill that void? I do like the Marcus Smart thing, though. I really do, because of what he could do on the defense side of the ball. And over the years, his 3-point shot got much better. He's a guy for a minimum contract for $1, $2, $3 million. I think he could be really serviceable. But what's your thoughts on that, on these guys, man? The possibility of adding that last guy here.
I mean, whosoever this veteran minimum guy is going to allow us to get a rookie in the door. And there's so many names out there. You know what I mean? If you got the Marcus Smart, you got Bill named back out there now because he's about to get a buyout. You got Malcolm Brogdon, Mikal Brogdon. You got Brogdon out there. You got Ben Simmons' name out there. You got a couple of you got a couple of other names. You got a couple of other names out there, stuff like that. I mean, I think any one of these guys, you could figure out a way to put them in there. You know what I mean? The one thing that I'm thinking about is depending on who it is and how they would fit the team, because certain guy that you bring in here, like Bill, you can't, in my opinion, Bill is not a player that he's going to come over here and is going to be coming off the bench. You're going to put Bill in there in the starting lineup. You know what I mean? And then you got to figure out what you're going to do with the bench. And I mean, if you get smart, you can put him in the second unit, but now you're talking about Deuce McBride, you're talking about Clarkson, and now you're talking about Marcus Smart in the second unit with Josh Hart and Yaka Sibley or Hucker Party. You know what I mean? So it all makes a difference. Right now, I wish we could sign someone like a 6'7" small forward. You know what I mean? Like this guy, Marion Bouchamp. You know what I mean? Or I really don't know about the Aaron other guy that we got there. We got a whole bunch of guys that we got a choice to get at. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I was on the tip for Sims for a little bit because he's a 6'10" guy, can run 1 to 5, can guard 1 to 5. We don't need him for much minutes, and he can come in the second unit and play a small forward or a power forward or something like that with Deuce and Clarkson and Josh Hart, because now we have to look at in our second unit. Let's be clear. Let's be starting Josh Hart. Anyway, I don't think they start Josh Hart. But our 3 guys off the bench is Deuce McBride, Clarkson, and Josh Hart. Those 3 guys. That's even talking about Haka Purdy or Yakasebe. That's even before we talk about those 3 guys are going to get. You know what I mean? There's no way to put Shamif here. I mean, you can put Shamif and put him on the 14, 15 man on the roster or whatever. You know what I mean? But with those 3 guys that we got right there, Deuce, Clarkson, and Hart, we really have to be mindful of we're going to get a power, or we're going to get another guard, you know what I mean? Or we're going to get a small forward, you know what I mean? Or another power forward, because that's where we're really lacking a little bit. If you want to say Haka Purdy and Yakasele could probably switch or, play power forward, you know what I mean? He's taking Precious position. So now we don't really have a small forward, unless you're talking about Pat Pacone. You know what I mean? He's 6'7", 6'8". He's that long frame. He might blow up. So it's going to be, to me, Devon, with all these guys that we got that could possibly be here, I think something might happen, because if we bring in another guard, a Bill or Marcus Smart, where Deuce going to play? Where Tyler Cole? I ain't worried about Tyler Cole, but just to put his name out there, where Tyler Cole is going to play? Well, Tyler Cole going in the G League, and now he's 190, and he mad diesel. He's got the cuts in his forearms now, and now he crossing everybody over, giving behind the back passes like he in West 4th, alley-oop passes. What we gonna do then? You know what I mean? So it's good that the team that we got, but I still think there might be a trade coming down the pike, man. We have so many players in certain positions that we have too much of a glut at, that I think we might bundle a couple of them up and ship them out and get, we ship 2 or 3 players out, we get 2 or 3 players back, or 1 or 2 players for different positions, because we are heavy at the guard position. And if we go for Bill or Marcus or even Sims, all those guys are guards. They're all guards.
Okay. Yeah, real quick. Hey, Nick Gack, I need you to not school me, but educate me on something real quick, Nick Gack. Even if it's a buyout, Nick Gack, even if it's a buyout, they still can't sign him less than $5 million. I'm not really too familiar with that. That's why I'm asking you the question. You said Smart 10-year vet, his minimum is closer to $5 million. That's even on a buyout? Just answer me yes or no.
Yeah, there's some things where you got the 10-year, the 5-year, and the intermediate years. You know what I mean? The lesser years, you get lesser money, 2.8 or something like that. Marcus Smart might be priced out of our range. I don't know. But if he's getting bought out, and I was trying to get to one of these guys, Fritz, one of these, because I want to ask this question, because I haven't heard this said. But if you get bought out by another team, can you go to another team and make $30 million? I'm coming to your team this year, I want $30 million. If you just got bought out on your contract for 100-some million, is it only the extended part that you can play for? Like if your salary was $40 million and they paid you $30 million, can you only go to another team for $10 million? Those are things I haven't really got in depth with. You know what I mean? But I got to pay attention to some of those things. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know about that, Divine. It could be true. I'm going to do some homework on it. By the time next time we get on, I'll know.
Yeah, Nick, appreciate that, Yak. Real talk. Yeah, it just because I it just curious, just because like I said, we don't have that much money to give Marcus Smart. That's why I asked that question.
Right.
We only got maybe what 3 million, 2 million, 3.5, whatever the case may be. Prezi was good. Prezi the boss was popping, my man. Prezi was good. Salute to the whole chat, man. Thank you everybody for coming in. Real talk. Size 9 was good. Real talk, man. Yeah, you're right, man. Sports Track is your friend, for real. I usually be on Sports Track too, Prez. That's one of my favorite web pages, man, to really go on and look at some Nick content for real. They kind of break down everything, man. I'm a big Sports Track guy, man. No doubt about it. But I'm curious to see. Like I said, if you look at the roster right now in the backup unit, if you're going with Clarkston, McBride, Josh Hart, if Mitch start, ladies and gentlemen, Yabusele and Haka Purdy, they're none of them guys, at least at the bottom 3 positions, like they're not legitimate point guards. I don't consider Jordan Clarkson. He's talented enough, but I don't think he's a point guard. I think he got some skills, but he's not a point guard. Deuce McBride is not a point guard. I understand why Knicks want a point guard. But I also know that we got guys like Tyler Kolek there. We got guys that might come out of G League. What it's all about training camp to me. Once you get to training camp, it's who could beat out who. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is about to me. We could put a whole bunch of crabs in the bucket, whoever going to get out the bucket. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I think that's one thing good about when you go into training camp, once you know, because you got your Exhibit 10s, you these guys who just sign on these deals. Like, a lot of our training camp guys gonna be a lot of our G League guys. You know what I mean? Usually that's how it works in the Nick universe. We sign these guys to these Exhibit 9s and 10s and camp deals and blah blah blah. But with the talent we have on that seems like we got some talent on that summer league roster, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm curious to see, like Sean Powell saying, who might be an odd man out, because I've seen some guys that look like they can get it, but obviously they weren't playing NBA competition. They were playing in Europe, or they were playing in the G League, or they were playing on college. Who got athletic skills, talent, game? Do they go out there and shock the world and make somebody expendable on that team? Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we said this a couple of years ago. I was like, Quentin Grimes made Evan Fournier expendable. Remember that? We see that coming. It's going to be a guy on that roster that might be expendable because there's another guy lurking that's young, could do what they could do. So it's going to be really to see how this thing go between now and the season starting, ladies and gentlemen. Because like I said, we do have some guys who qualify. Go ahead, Shop Hours.
It just blinked in my mind. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but the money that Marcus Smart and these guys would have to be offered, if it is at $5 million or $7 million, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that the Knicks can still sign that person for whatever that money is, but they will only have to pay out a certain amount. Now, I've got this from I think that was from, it's not too many guys that watch, but it could be from Macri and them. And I mean, Knicks Film School. But the money that they would have to, if it's $5 million, the Knicks is only eligible to pay $3.5 million, and they will only have to pay that amount of money. So I'll check into that again. But I seen Nick Yak said something about the 10-year thing or whatever. I think the money is something like that. It was $5 million, then it was $2.8 million. There's so many numbers that I seen, but I couldn't write it down. But I think if it is more than the estimated amount that the Knicks would pay, the Knicks could still get them and pay the amount that they could pay, and not be penalized, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, I'm with Nick Yak. Hey, Prezi, I agree on that 10. I'm with you, Nick Yak, on that. I'm gonna put it up there right quick just because I think it makes sense. But you got Mitch, Cat, OG, Kel, Jalen Brunson, Hawker Purdy, Yabusele, Josh Hart, Clarkston, Deuce, should be our Big Ten. Najee, I agree. Ware, Daddy A, Shamit, and Kolick as our 15 guy. I have no problem with that. None whatsoever. That's a good team right there, ladies and gentlemen. You got a lot of good youth mixed with mid-veterans, and obviously Shamit being the longest veteran. But I like that, President the Balls. Real talk. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I just want to throw that up there because I thought it made a lot of sense. So it's a lot brewing in New York. They're not finished, but they got a lot of talent down there, man. And let's see what the Nick front office and Mike Brown do with this stuff. Yep, you're right, Shamit. There's a question. I thought, man, Nick Yak. I thought Tom Thibodeau should have played that man more. I thought Shamit was working hard for the Knicks in them playoffs. He was defending these guys on the ball, shooting the trade ball down there. I thought he could have got a better sense of time with the Knicks, man, and then maybe that might have been one of the reasons why our prior coach might have been out. Because, he made these changes in the playoffs when he could have made them before the playoffs. What that means changing up Hart and my man Mitch, starting to play Shamit, and then waiting for the last minute to take out Campaign when he was sneaking it up. So I would love to see Shamit come in. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't come into training camp. He didn't come into the season at the beginning of the year. Obviously fell on his shoulder. So this roster gets to come into the beginning of the season in 2025 season, 2026 season. Hopefully, Mitchell Robinson and Shamit, if they here, they start at the beginning of the season. Over the last year, they didn't get to play at the second half and beyond, or whatever the case may be. So it's going to be interesting. I do like the Yabusele and Achua thing. Here's why. I think, much as I like President Achua, I think Yabusele's three-point game is better.
Facts.
I think his three-point game is better, but I did like President Achua, man. I thought he just couldn't. Wow, now that the season's over, you wonder why did they make a mistake by not giving him enough minutes. But at the same time, they didn't really plan on keeping him because he was the last signing for the Knicks this year, ladies and gentlemen. The prior season, they waited to the end of almost the beginning of the training camp to do that. So I think that'd be a good look for the Lakers too. Nick, yeah, go out there, man. But I do like what we got there. Let's see how it goes, man. Yeah, they do. I'm looking forward to that Prezi on summer because I think we got a lot of talent on that summer league team. It's just so tough when you got a team that's built for championship aspiration and a championship caliber team. It's hard for these young guys to get in there and get that burn. Like maybe like we were 3 or 4 years ago when RJ and Grimes and them, we had all. If these guys we got now was a part of that before we got Jalen Brunson, but now that we got all these deep veterans on the team who's looking to go a little deeper, it's gonna be interesting to see who could crack this rotation now. Crack the not the rotation, but crack the roster spots anyway. And I do like the 10 you put up there, man. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what Mike Brown gonna do with these guys, man. I'm looking forward to this season. I know y'all are, but I'm looking forward to Summer League. And we've been here with the pregame Summer League, ladies and gentlemen. So I think there's 11 to get to the Detroit Pistons around 6 or something like that. So I look for the notification, man. We get in here and talk about this young talented roster. I'll do a lot of brain research between now and then. But I'm looking forward to seeing some of these guys, man. Like we got guys who we know was on this team last year, like the Haka Purdy's and the guys like that. But is anybody that make them expendable? Is anybody might come in the summer league might say, okay, you know what? Daddy A, you might be expendable because of this guy. Or this guy might be expendable because of this guy. I don't know. You know what I mean? And the two-way deals is out there. McCullers out there. A lot of it's going to be really interesting. We got guys who not coming over here. Obviously, my man Rojas said, I'm not coming over here. I had enough of that. You know what I mean? They ain't got me now. They must not going to get me. So you won't see guys like Rojas for the last couple of years being over here. Guys like that, man. But Najee, I'm really interested to see. We got him in that trade. I'm interested to see Najee. He's an athletic dude. And I really want to see. I think he can I think he can play in the NBA for sure. I don't know the full game, but I know he got hops. He can do some things, man. So I just want to see the talent there. Shop Powers on this thing next week. At the end of the week. So we definitely gonna be here for that one for sure.
Yeah, for me, I have sporadically watched the Summer League to watch, every so often when the year that that Deuce came in and IQ and all those guys. I watched a couple of years. Last couple of years we haven't watched it too much. I didn't watch it too much last year, but this year, oh, I am surely gonna watch it this year because they got some guys. This is going to be. There's 3 or 4 guys on that 16, 17, I think it's 15, 16, 17 man roster right now. And 4 of those guys are already on the roster. You got 3 guys that are striving to get to that two-way contracts. So, out of 14 guys, so 15 guys, you got 15 guys, so that's 11. Then you got 3 more to go in there. So out of 11 guys, they're all fighting to get into one spot, and it's going to be something to watch. And Summer League, all that stuff is going to be something to watch. So I'll be tuned in every game, and I hope that the Knicks, with this full roster, in my opinion, should be able to pull this one off this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Between Haka Purdy, Kolek, and Daddy, that's $8 million, ladies and gentlemen. $8 million. So, I think you got to put. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you guys think Tyler Kolek is ready to be the backup point guard for the New York Knicks? Give me a yes or no on that, man. I wish I was on YouTube. I put a survey out there and find out. Do y'all think Tyler Kolek literally got a legitimate chance to be the backup point guard in New York City? And knowing that he done been on the Knicks for a year already. They got him signed under the deal. AP say yes. Salute my man AP. AP was good, my brother. Salute. I would definitely shop Powell to give him an opportunity. I think he got the point guard skills we need. I think he can hit the 3 ball like he can. I think he can set up the offense like they can. I think he can put Jordan Clarkson and Josh Hart. I think he can put Deuce and Brown, all of them in their right spots. With his passing ability and all that stuff. So I hope he go out there and show and prove, because I really believe that this cat got game like that. I'm quite sure he probably spent the summer working on his game, working on his defense and all that. But that would definitely be something to see. He definitely got I'm quite sure he got a chance going there. Unless they make a power move to get a point guard to back up Jalen Brunson that really been in this league, and they want him there because they believe they going for this year. But if not, I would give it to Tyler Kolek for sure.
I say this about Tyler Kolek. This is a year for him to step up and show what he got, because if not, he's going to be playing a lot of games in the summer. I mean, in G League this year, because we got a lot of players that's going to be in front of him. If he can come out there and show up, I mean, you got Tyler Kolek, and right now he could be what the Knicks are looking for. You know what I mean? I believe that the things that we used to say last year, Divine, about how the starting unit is, and then the second unit come in and take over, and then in the third or fourth quarter, we'll have enough league where we can use the end of the bench. I think this year will be one of those years that we'll probably be able to do that. And I mean, at least what I hope. And if Tyler Kolek could come in here and contribute, it's going to make it easier. But see, if he comes in and contributes, now who sits the bench? You know what I mean? Is it Josh Hart? Is it Deuce McBride? Is it Clarkson? You know what I mean? Who sits the bench?
I mean, who sits?
Brunson, you know what I mean? Brunson ain't sitting the bench, so now you got another conundrum. But it's a good conundrum, because with all these guys playing stellar basketball, it makes it easier at trade season to relinquish some of these contracts to bring in the short. You give out 3 players, you get back, but and then they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out, because I don't know what they're going to do right now. I still think they're going to make a trade. So I'm still hoping that they make a trade, because I don't see how they're going to play all these players, especially if they get another player with this vet minimum, and they need to make this play. It's not like they can't. They need to make this play to get to the 14-man to the 14-man flow. So they have to make this trade. So who are they going to bring in?
I'm gonna tell you what's interesting too, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all keep an eye on it. Y'all know. How would I say? Contacts and continuity and peers and all that is important. Being that Scott Perry is now the president, not the general, the president of the Sacramento Kings, ladies and gentlemen. And I think the guys are talking about that in the chat right now. You do have some bonus out there, maybe. Because I don't think that the way it looks to me, it's not like Sacramento looking like they're trying to build a contender. I think my man Scott Perry trying to retool that thing. Build around the Keegan Murrays and the Keon Ellises of the world and all these youngsters down there. Who to say that? Okay. How much money is Sabonis make? About 12 or something like that? Because now you got to look at the situation where what about if it is Sabonis and Sabonis in the middle and Carl Anthony Town? That, you know what I mean? Because my man Sabonis is not like a outside player, though he can knock it down occasionally. But his power game is down in the paint, rebounding, bucket, getting down in the middle. That's another thing you got to look at with the way this thing could go, because we got a lot of things not a lot of things we need to do, but it is some things we can do. So, are you going to give Mitch $20 million, or are you going to give Sabonis $30 million and send Mitch and somebody else out, a couple of players to equal that contract? Who knows? You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be interesting. Salute my man Ronald Ed, what's good? Yeah, I think they got a deep team in with Pate, man. All them guys, man. Ron is going to be really interesting. I mean, the Knicks got a tough decision. They see stuff. They're not a tough. So they good. They good problems. Let me put it like that. The Knicks got good problems. Good problems because they got a bunch of young talented dudes down there, and everybody is not going to make this roster. But one thing I do say about the Knicks organization, what I do like about them, a lot of guys you see in summer league, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of them wind up being on that G League team. A lot of guys they pick on that summer league team normally wind up being on that G League team unless they don't go to another team in the G League. But I can also see things like that happening. Mitchell Robinson, this guy or this guy, and not because we want Mitch gone. It's because, like I said, he's the last tenure Knick from that Scott Perry. Scott Perry drafted Mitchell Robinson in the 38th pick. He drafted Mitchell Robinson. Scott Perry. Who to say Scott Perry? Say, okay, I'm rebuilding this thing out here. Let me give Mitch some money. Let me get somebody some money, and I'll send y'all my man. You never know. You just don't never know. It's crazy, but I think connections can get you stuck like glue. So let's see how it goes. I think this thing could be interesting out there, man. If they decide to move on from Mitch, that's one team I think you could look at. And I think Scott Perry will work with the Knicks like that. You know what I mean? I really believe that because they kept the man on the payroll for years. And the only reason that he didn't stay here was because they brought a new regime in here. He did stay under contract for this regime for 1 year. After his contract was up, they kept him on for a year. So let's see how it goes, man. This is gonna be a lot of wheeling and dealing, moving and shaking. Because I don't think this thing's complete. I do agree with you guys in the chat. I do agree with Shop Powers. Make it happen. Yep, something might happen, man. But whatever they do, it's good that they doing it, because if they doing it for the better of the team to make it strong. Because I think we on a quest right now. We on the cusp of trying to get a ring. And like I said, I love Mitchell Robinson. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know me. I've been at Mitch Holmes. I wish Mitchell Robinson was like he was when he was a rookie. That's the Mitchell I would love to see right now, flying around, knocking people shit all out the air and rim running like crazy. But obviously, we don't have that Mitch no more. He gained a lot of more pounds since his rookie year, and I think a lot of that weight, it kind of affects his ankles sometimes to me. You don't look like he got big feet down. It look like he got baby feet. So, you know what I mean? Shot power. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. We'll see how it goes and everything like that. But I'm ready for this thing to get locked in, man. For real talk, man. I can't wait for the season to come around. I know patience is a virtue. I'm ready for it to get popping. It is, Rasul. His value is up. That's why it's really interesting to me. Like, his value is up. And either you're going to give him that money or you're going to let him go. So we'll see how it goes, man. Only they know. I don't know. I do not know at all. Yep. Yeah. So what do you think, man?
It is. I think that it's going to be something that's going to happen because, I mean, maybe not early, maybe the trade deadline, but I mean, I hate to say it like this, but and Mitch is I'm a homer for Mitch too. But if Mitch is balling out by the trade deadline, if he's balling out, but Hucker Purdy and Yabusele is playing very well, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with Prezi on that. And I'm with Yak on that. I think if you lose a lot with Mitch, man. Mitch to me is like a Tony Allen. He's like who Andre Roberson back in the day for OKC. They didn't have a bit of offense, but man, without them on that team, they wasn't. When you look what happened to Memphis was Tony Allen left Memphis. Look what happened to OKC back in the days when Andrew Roberson, who I can remember who Andre Roberson, who can remember who he was. These guys was the one thing they did it well. They just was some really team defending dudes, and without them defending on that team, them teams went the other way. Yeah, it's amazing. So let's see how it goes. I want to see how even with Boston, y'all let what's my man name go? Got traded to Portland. Let's see how it goes, man. I don't think they might be the same guy defensively without my man Drew Holiday. Even though they bought Anthony Simons and all them, but still Drew Holiday is Drew Holiday. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you got guys, I say all that to say is that I understand where y'all going from with the Mitchell Robinson thing. Nobody could do what Mitch could do. When I see Mitch in the playoff shot power guard 5 positions in 1 possession. They came down court, Boston. Mitchell Robinson guarded all 5 of them dudes in 1 possession. That shit was amazing. I've never seen nobody do that on the NBA court. I've been watching this shit for a long time. He took the guy coming down on the fast break. When they turned to the corner, switched past to the corner, he went over there. When they brought it back to the top of the key, Mitchell Robinson switched, went over there, and that's when he stole the ball from my man in the corner. I was like, this shit is crazy. So that's how important he is to a team who need defense. So let's see how they do with Mitchell Robinson, man. Like I said, I don't think if we lose Mitchell Robinson, it won't be because he's not worth the money. It's because with this new CBA thing, everybody's gonna lose somebody to stay out these luxury taxes and all that shit. That's what I think it boiled down to me. It's not you're not losing because of the talent, you're losing because of the money. And that's what everybody is happening all 30 teams. Somebody gonna get one of your favorite players, a player that's supporting the team, gonna wind up not being able to stay on that team because of this CBA shit. So we had to see how it goes, man. But I'm definitely gonna be interested to see what the Knicks do. Yo, salute Fabian. Fabian, what's good, my man? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming in, my bro. Salute to you. Yep. And let's see, man. But it's gonna be fun, man. But we definitely are being here, man. Get a popping for the summer league. I love getting down in the pregame stuff, man. And I really want to see these young guys get out there and make a name for themselves because this can dictate what the Knicks can really do.
Facts.
Certain guys ain't guaranteed no spot. I understand we drafted Daddy last year. I understand Hucker Purdy ain't even guaranteed to be on the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. They might get it. They might, let's say if Najee wind up popping or one of these dudes wind up popping and they on 2 ways or they on a rookie, a minimal, you never know. You never know. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes open, my ears to the ground to really just see what happens and what transpire over the next couple of days. Do we bring somebody in with that last roster or we hold on to it and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, we got to make the trade. We got to bring in at least one more person. You know what I mean? And if we bring that vet minimum, we might as well bring. Actually, we had 12 people right now, so we do have to use those 2 picks. We got to get to 14. We got to get to 14. So it's inevitable. You know what I'm trying to say. I got a little tongue tie right there. It's inevitable right now that they have to pick up 2 plays. They have to use that vet minimum and a first-year contract to one of these rookies that haven't played in the NBA at all. And that's why I'm wondering if that does that include McCullough? Because McCullough played, like, didn't he play him like the end of the season game? He played one game.
Played enough game to be considered a rookie, though.
Yeah, so I don't know if he could. I don't know if he could get it, but this right now with me not being like, I don't want to say not paying attention, but not
versed.
Really all in it. I've been traveling. I've been doing. Look, you see how my head? Look at my head. Look at it.
The tan.
See, I've been trying. You know what I mean? So I've been in it. I've come on here. I've Zone Marshall for a hot minute the other day, but it's all got me. I'm finding out information through everybody else because it's hard to find out information right now because ain't nothing happening.
Yeah. A little bit at a time. Whatever they do, they work it out. Like I said, but it's definitely gonna be interesting, man. I think he got a two-way. I think McCullough was on a two-way. He's on a two-way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, the contract for the New York Knicks is Haka Purdy. Daddy got what $2.8 million for so many years. They picked up
and Tyler Kohler, yeah,
$1.9 million, and Tyler Kohler got around $2 million. I think McCullough, Bouchamp, and somebody else is on two ways. I meant to say two-way contracts. I'm sorry.
I mean, to tell you the honest truth, ain't none of them on none of that. The two-way contract is wide open right now. To tell you the honest truth, because it's non-guaranteed money. So if any one of these guys in the in the summer league go off and they can't put them on the contract, that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to pick up somebody, and they're going to pick up one of these rookies like Mohamed Datawad or whatever his name. I think he's one of the big names that they're talking about, like you just said. And see what, and then you got 7 guys fighting for 3 positions in the two-way contracts, and whoever doesn't come in there, they'll probably back in 2 or 3 of them into the G League. On what is it, $45 million for the season? I forgot what they said, how much money it was.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think any of these players may not be there because they were Tom Thibodeau type players, or they were on the Knicks because of Tom Thibodeau? Do you think there's any players on our roster that might say, you know what? Well, these was Tibbs type players. Now that Tibbs is not coaching us no more, maybe their skill set don't relate to what Mike Brown wants us to do. Could there be guys in this circle that was really Tibbs guys? You know what I mean? Even though Leon Rose, you got to remember when Leon Rose do draft, Tibbs did have an input on who he wanted on his team. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering from that standpoint, now that Tibbs is not the coach anymore, does some of these guys, they might be expendable because Tibbs is not there anymore? That's what's really interesting as well, because it's just so many nuances to the thing, man, and so many variables to what can happen with this team. Who knows? But I know that like Prez put up there earlier, at least I know the 10 of them going to be there, I think, unless one of them going to trade. It's about all I can really think of. But we got good problems. But like I said, that's where the guys like Scott Perry done coming back. If Scott Perry decide to do a damn full out rebuild down there, we got some good guys for him. we got some contract for him. We need to get rid of some contracts. Rasul said he thinks Deuce and Coling. Okay, I could kind of see that, Rasul. I definitely see Deuce, and I'm a Deuce guy, but I do think Deuce was a Thibodeau guy and Coling too. So
I've been saying cherry on top. You know what I mean? Both those guys, and if you want to bring in, you want to talk about bringing in Smart, you want to talk about bringing in Bill. Yeah, man, we might have to get rid of Deuce, and we might have to really get rid of Coling. You know what I mean? But we might. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do. It is so funny just to sit here and talk about it, because it's funny how this thing is working out. It is funny how this thing is working out and how it's going to work out because of the cap. like you said, Divine, every team's going to lose. Look at what Boston they let go of their whole starting lineup damn near. So, it's something to watch. That's what I'm waiting to see. I think it's going to be. I think there's another shoe to drop. I don't know if it's just me or the way the numbers match up or how these guys. If we looking to get Ben Simmons or Small, any of these guys, how are we going to do it with Deuce here? That means that those guys that we bring in here are going to be the end of the. If that's the case, we should have signed DeLon Wright. If we're going to send somebody. Right, if we're going to send them on the end of the bench type guy that we ain't got to worry about, that's the type of guy that you hire. So, I don't know.
Now that you look at it, Shot Powers, and now that the guys look at it, which I don't think, like, I'm not advocating for nobody we trade. I like our team the way they are. I don't care if the Knicks come back with this team they got right now the whole year. I wouldn't even care. I'm good with this team. I am. But I'm not the GM or the president of the New York Knicks, so I don't get to make no decision for them to go. But if you bring in a guy like Marcus Smart or Ben Simmons, then you're not bringing them here to put on a bench. I meant to say out the rotation. I meant to say, if you bring guys in like Marcus Smart or Ben or whoever, I don't care who it is, you're not bringing them here to be a 50 man on the bench. So who are you? If you do bring one of them dudes there, who's going to be that odd man out in that rotation? Because they're going to be in a rotation.
Facts.
They're going to be in a rotation. I wouldn't even bring that headache over here, knowing that I got a guy who was once making a 20, 30, 40 million, who still got a little bit of game, or one of them who made 70 million a year got game, and they come here and they're not playing. So you should even bring them here. You know what I mean? So if
ain't no reason to. Right.
If the Knicks do bring somebody in here of that caliber, somebody going.
Facts.
If that's the case, you don't bring them in here and put them young guys at the end of the bench. You know what I mean? Just put them down there. Put all them young guys at the end of the bench that's not seasoned like that yet. And then you move on. But so as of right now, it's gonna be a pretty interesting thing this last couple of weeks for the Knicks or going into the summer.
Facts. That's how I feel, because if you bringing in any of these guys, like you just said, that's what I'm talking. That's how I feel. You bring in, you not see. All right, if you bring in Bill, to me, in my opinion, you bring in Bill, he's starting. Him, Brunson, OG, Mikal, and Cat. That's your starting. That's who you starting. You starting Bill. I don't think Bill coming off the bench. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know what I mean? Marcus Smart, all right. Marcus Smart might can come off the bench. You know what I mean? But who's not gonna get no minutes because he's coming off the bench? You just picked up Clarkson. You got Deuce there. You got Kolick. I want to say that he's a point guard. All right, he's a point guard. So that means now you put him in there. Who you putting him in there with? You putting him in there with Clarkson, or you putting him in there with Deuce? Oh, don't forget that we got Josh Hart in the pitch too. I mean, for me, it's a lot of those players right there. Like, it don't make sense to me. It's too many of them. You're not going to be able to, even if we ran 11, 12-man roster, we couldn't play all those guys. So to me, I think it's going to be another trade. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I think it's going to be another move.
It's either going to be this here. There's no move, and you go on what you got. That means it's the Knicks gonna be comfortable with letting Deuce run the backup point guard.
Yeah, I think they'll be comfortable because it won't be just Deuce. It'll be Deuce, Clarkson, and Josh Hart. Right. I think those three guys together can run the point. Absolutely. Any one of them can take over the action at any given time. I think, in my opinion, I think they can.
Yeah, I think they're good either way. I think if the Knicks run with what we have, I still think we're a deep, talented roster. They make a move, okay, then it is what it is. But if I don't think Knicks making let me play this here. They're not going to make a lateral move. They're not going to make a move just to make a move. I think whatever move the Knicks make, it's got to move the needle. Like that needle you can't bring in a guy, the needle stay right here, Shop Howard. That shit got to move.
Right.
They got to move it.
If you was going to do that, you'd have signed DeLon Wright. And I mean,
Yeah.
I think Shamman. I swear to goodness, I don't think Shamman coming back just because I think he'll make more money out on the market. I think Shamman will get $3, $4, $5 million that might be out of our price range. You know what I mean? I don't know how they keep saying him, but then they say in the same token, I really got to start doing some homework because I thought I seen some about, if you got this many years in, this is how much money you should be making. But if this and I can't figure it out yet.
Yeah,
I can't figure it out yet. But
definitely gonna be locked into it because there's a lot of interesting scenarios can go that way, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, don't make no move just to make a move. Make a move that's gonna make us better. If you can make the Knicks better than they are right now, then damn it, you're gonna make us better. I don't care about the sentimental stuff. I don't care about none of my sentimental guys. I love them all. I love all of them dudes on our team. I think we got a good team, ladies and gentlemen. We just was a couple of this or that away from going to the finals. I mean, that says a lot about what we have there. Because I do think that, we need to just make sure we don't make no move just to be making them. We got to really figure out, because continuity is important, ladies and gentlemen. That's another thing that's important. You know what the difference between a lot of teams like Indiana and all these guys, they had continuity. A lot of guys played together for a couple of years, 3-4 years, and so on. Like the Nimhards and Aaron A. Smiths and all these guys, they played together for 3 or 4 years down there in Indiana. This roster that we have, brand new roster, you know what I mean? So I'm perfectly fine with running this thing back. But I think this team would be way better than it was last year. Number one, I think Mike Brown might install some philosophy that maybe Tim just didn't put in there. Number two, our bench did get better, like this Mike said. Just having Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson alone made our bench better. And and no knock on that. We had our bench wasn't good last year. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, ladies and gentlemen, with the worst benches in the league from a statistics standpoint. From a statistics standpoint. Now we upgrade 2 good positions there. You know what I mean? And I do think this might be different this year. I think Mikal and Anunoby, they might feel different with Mike Brown instead of Tom Thibodeau.
Less minutes and more on time gameplay. Yeah, I think so too. Instead of playing all 5 of our starters was like top 5 in the league of playing basketball this year. If we could get Mikal to 32 and Josh Hart Mikal to 32 and OG to 33 and Cat and Brunson to 35. Yeah, we're gonna be a winner chicken dinner. Mitchell Robinson coming in at 28 minutes and the other minutes of 20 minutes. Yeah, we good. You know what I mean? We're gonna have an energetic team that's not gonna be hurt going down the stretch. And we're gonna have some young guys that can help us out just in case something happened to one of our bona fide guys. So I'm 100% down with what they're bringing into the town right now.
Yeah, real tough. Listen, we gonna get out pretty soon, about another 5 minutes and everything like that, man. But just a recap what we went over last night. Obviously, we talked about the new signs, man, with Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele and Mike Brown. We had a little bit of the Mike Brown press conference. I like what I heard from Mike Brown in the press conference today. Said some good stuff in there and all that good stuff. So I was really happy with that. Obviously, we had these extension eligible guys we talked about earlier, Town, Bridges, and Robinson. They all extension eligible. So we're going to see what's happening with them going down the pipe. I think these guys will be back. Like I said, 2 of them I think will be back. One of them is 50-50 to me. And then, like I said, we talked about who we're going to sign next with these last couple of spots we have left and all that good stuff. So, man, it's definitely going to be crazy, man. The Summer League thing was interesting as well. Coming up later, we will be on instead of next week. We will be on the pregame for the Summer League, even though it's Summer League. But I'm really, really, really interested to see what these guys are going to do in Summer League. I do believe this Summer League team can win this thing. I believe they can win it.
That's the Saturday they start, right? Saturday.
Yeah, I think Saturday. Yeah, 6 p.m. in Detroit Pistons. Like every team we play in so far in Summer League, we played them in the playoff. Detroit, Boston, and I think Indiana. We play all of them in Summer League. So we have to see how it goes, man. But it's going to be really interesting, man. This year I'm really locked into it. I'm ready for this thing, and I'm working hard on the all season for the new stuff and everything like that, man. Really got some good stuff going on. Coming up on the season. I just want to wait till the season get here when the official season pop off. We really put it all out there, man. But I'm definitely looking forward to this week, man. Summer League and all that shot powers, and let's see what happens between now and next week. We hear anything prior to that, we jump on it before Summer League. If not, we definitely see you guys on on Saturday for the proper summer league game. I apologize. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's it, man. Couple of things going on. I'm almost back stable. Me and Devon got to sit and formulate a plan, and we're gonna get with you this year. We want to elevate and motivate and get a ring this year with the team. So as the team grows, we want to grow too. So thank y'all for following us. Hit those smash those like buttons, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do us a favor. You know what I mean? And that's what I got to say until we come back on Saturday, right? Saturday. So
Friday, I think it is. Friday's the game.
Friday?
Right?
Yeah. Good. Friday. I'll be off. The 11th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all make sure y'all don't go out there Friday and go out there party and don't forget that we are. But if you do go out there having fun on Friday, which is Friday, everybody go out there having fun. Make sure y'all hit the rewind, man. The rewind and check out the rewind.
Friday, listen to us before you get out. There you go. If you coming home, the game, I don't know, the game got to be about 5, 6 o'clock, so you can ride along with us and stuff like that. And ride all the way to the game and get out.
If not, man, make sure the replay gang is in the building, man.
Yeah, for real.
But whatever y'all do, man, y'all make sure y'all keep continuing to have a good summer, man. I hope y'all having a great summer, everybody, man. The world is kind of crazy right now, but within yourselves, man, y'all keep enjoying your summer, man. Stay safe out there, stay locked in, and all that good stuff, man. And we definitely see y'all on definitely Friday, man. I'm really looking forward to the summer league thing, man. I know a lot of these guys not going to be on the main roster, but it's almost like that you got a good farm system. Like we know the Mets or the Yankees, whichever one you root for. We always hope their farm system got some good young players in there. So that's what I'm really wanting to see with the summer league thing is like how is our farm club going to be for the New York Knicks, and any of these guys got a chance of one day get it popping up on the top level. You never know what happens with injuries because this is what's interesting to me. Now that Tom Thibodeau's not here, how much will the G League players have an impact on our organization? How you never know what Mike Brown might say. He might say, you know what, my man got a little bit of a bump and an injury. He a little bit injured. He might be out for a week or two because injuries happen in the NBA. We don't want it to happen, but they do happen. Could any of these guys who were down in the G League come up for a couple of weeks or a day or two and fill this void until the guy get back? So that's going to be interesting to see what Mike Brown, how does he utilize not only the talent on the roster, but the talent in the G League, how they're going to make sure that these guys can come on the main stage and get a pop. So it's going to be really interesting to see, man. I'm looking forward to all of it. Really interesting season, man. Championship aspirations, but we still got a lot of stuff to kind of critique to get to where we got to get to. But until then, salute to everybody in the building, man. Thank all you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, for coming in, man, for hanging in there with us. Real talk, man. We know how much we appreciate the invisible chat, the visible panel. I meant to say, you guys is on a panel. You're just invisible in my book. Without y'all, ain't no Knicks Real Talk, man. Y'all already know that. So, but like I said, man, it's all good, man. We gonna get out of here because we know we got to go and do things. I
got one more thing to say before we go, Divine. This how good our team is. All right, our team is so good that this how long we have to wait to regular season. We got the summer league that's July 10th to the 20th. And then we got the NBA schedule, the releases of the schedule for the season for all teams on August 15th. Media day for the New York Knicks is September 24th. NBA camp starts September 25th. Preseason for the New York Knicks is October 2nd. 2 games in Dubai, October 2nd and October 4th. And then the regular season starts October 21st.
Right there, man. Like I said, that's a good thing about the Knicks going deep in the playoffs.
Thanks.
When they go deep in the playoffs, it makes the next upcoming season like
not that long. Not that long.
Right. Real talk, man. So listen, man, y'all enjoy my shop house, my brother. I will holler at you. Real talk, man. We'll talk, man, and everybody in the building. Thank y'all for coming in. Knicks Real Talk, Devon, Shop Powers, the chat. Everybody appreciate y'all, man. We see y'all on the next one, man. Peace. Friday, yo. Pre-game. We'll be in the building, man, around 5 o'clock, whatever. We got Detroit and the New York Knicks Summer League, man. Let's get it, man. We talk to you, man.
Let's get it.
Peace.
Peace.
Yo, Devon, what's good? You know what it is, bro. About to go ahead and get with SP. We about to get this Knicks Real Talk pre-game popping off. Get this shit popping, man. I'll holler at you. One.
Stop and get some petrol to hit the metro on full throttle. Across the gospels, we in the Mecca bottleneck. Our 32nd word is vowel with Sharon flexing. Posted up like sticky note. You smell the icky in the air like hickory smoke. Carotene, we well represented. We on that Nick shit. You can smell it, so please don't step in it. Cause the burner cooking with gas. The cat in the alley dig up through your team trash. Getting that cash ready for DoorDash and make a splash. But they moving slow before the pregame show. No capsule here, what's on tap. But God, no talking five. And report, keep myself doing the chat. Interacting with your mandem. It's a brand in front of the camera. There's a picture. Cats and snap back to fit the cat. So we Nick dripping. It's real, you know, we fit the description. It's the OG, Olin and Ananobi. Me and my man Brody, we run your fire TV, that's Cody.
It's Nick's Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Nick's Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick drip. It's Nick's Real Talk. You know how we get down. We in that Nick drip, dripping and Nick